welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having the best day. I have not posted a video in a long time, and that's mainly just been because I've been really busy. I haven't had a lot of time to read. I can't remember the last time I finished a book. I'm currently still reading A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I had received the ARC for that one, but I received it a week before it was supposed to come out, and so I just didn't have time to finish it, but I do have a little time to finish it before I need to post my review anyways. Today's Saturday, June 28th, and I have not finished a book in June this month. It's been an incredibly busy month. Today's video is going to be a little reading vlog. I went to the bookstore yesterday because I like working there. It's really quiet and they have really nice seats there, and I'm surrounded by books. So like, what better environment to be in to get my work done? I was there, and once I finished work, I browsed around. I wanted to pick up a book, and there was one copy left of this book. I've heard so many good things about it. I've heard that it's such a positive book. But we're gonna try to read and finish a book this weekend because I would love to just have one book finished for June. It's crazy. Last year I was reading so much around this time, and I haven't had as much time as I wanted to read, so definitely way behind on my reading goal. At the end of the day, if I get it, great. If not, well, we'll adjust it for next year. I'm hoping I can at least finish one book in June, and I am about 75% into A Dance of Lies, so I am close to finishing that, but I thought maybe I could try to read this book over the weekend. And it's Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom, I think. I've heard so many good things. I actually heard Steph Bohr talk about this book, and she read it and she loved it so much that she annotated a copy for someone else. The way that she described it and the way that she talked about it, saying it became one of her favorite reads. I had to get it, had to pick it up, and my bookstore had one copy left. I feel like anytime I go to the bookstore for a book, a specific book, there's only ever one copy left, so I'm like stressed trying to get there in time before someone else picks it up. I am so excited to pick this up. It's a lot smaller in person than I thought it was gonna be, and I just need something that's a feel-good kind of book. I feel like it could be a little bit sad too. We're gonna try to start this book today on Saturday, June 28th. I'm gonna try to finish tomorrow and edit and upload tomorrow. Future me will know how this is going. So it's 12:30 right now, and I think I'm gonna make a matcha today, and then I'm just gonna sit and read, and I'm really excited. I think this is gonna be a really quick read. Just picked this book up yesterday. Usually when I buy books from the bookstore, I add it to my list or my TBR to read in the future, but this is the first time I've picked it up, and I'm gonna jump into it right away, so I'm really excited. So grab your favorite drink, grab a book, and come hang out and read with me. And let's get into the book. Expecting this book to get so sad so quickly. I didn't know we were gonna start like this. I'm already feeling things. Day, and I'm about 48 pages in out of 192, and I will say I've been pleasantly surprised with this book so far. Now that I've kind of read into it a little bit, I can kind of give a little bit of a summary about what it's about. So we have Mitch and Morrie. Morrie was Mitch's university professor. He took a class from him. They got close, and Morrie said, you know, keep in touch with me. Mitch said okay. Fast forward to their lives now. They didn't keep in touch. Mitch moved on with his life. Morrie continued with his life, but one day Mitch finds out from the news that Morrie's health is declining, and so he decides to go and visit him. What's really interesting about this book is we're getting two different perspectives from two different people and their lives and their values and how much life has changed both of these individuals. Morrie is somebody who has come to terms with death, and he's not scared of it, and he's finding every positive thing about his experience with it. And I think that's so refreshing and uplifting to have someone who knows that the end is near, but that's trying to make everything as positive as he possibly can. Versus Mitch, he fell into this state post-university of just trying to secure financial security, which a lot of us do post-school. So all these big dreams and hopes that he had, he didn't end up following through. So when he meets up with Morrie, eventually they start talking. He starts realizing, okay, all of these things that he taught me, everything that we've gone through, so far from the path that he thought he was going to be on. Morrie is dying, and he just has such a positive outlook on everything. Like, you learn that from the first sentence of the book when you open it, so it's not a spoiler, but as his health continues to decline, he's not getting more upset about it. He's not getting sad about it. He's finding ways to make his experience positive. I just think that that is such a refreshing take, and it's definitely something that's changed my perspective and my view on life and makes me think about all the little things that I sometimes struggle with or that I don't necessarily enjoy doing. I feel like a lot of us can relate to Mitch, and I feel like some people can relate to Morrie. I want to have that mindset that Morrie has, where he's finding the little joys in everything and he's finding positive outcomes and throughout his experiences, even if they're not necessarily positive experiences. Mitch promised he would keep in touch, and he didn't end up keeping in touch, and Morrie was never upset about that. He was never angry. He welcomed him with open arms. It's just been such an interesting take on life in general, and just seeing how I feel like I'm a Mitch right now, but I want to shift my perspective into Morrie. And I'm not very far in. I'm only 48 pages in, and so there's 192. I still have over 100 pages to read. Because I've had all these thoughts and these feelings so soon, I'm very interested in finishing and just seeing, like I said, how my perspective shifts from this point all the way to the end of the book. But it's just been something that, I don't know, I'm very pleasantly surprised by this. I was not expecting to feel the way about it that I do feel about it, but it already feels like it's going to be the most life-changing book that I've ever read. It already feels like it's probably going to be one of my favorite books of this year, if not my favorite. I was not expecting to get as much out of it as I have so far. It's an incredible book. I actually went and ordered this for my mom and my aunt because I wanted them to read it, because that's how much I already love it, and I think that they could really take a lot from it as well. I'm hoping that my mom will pass it to my sisters when she's done with it, and hopefully they can read it. I think that they could really benefit for something like this. It's just seeing that financial success isn't everything. I think going to be a little bit refreshing for them to hear in the space that they're in. But pleasantly surprised. This is such an interesting book, and I really do think if you're in a place in your life where you feel like you're stuck, I think that this is something that you could pick up and really enjoy, and it could give you more of a positive spin on things. I'm loving this book so far. This has the potential to be potentially a 6-star read. I might be saying that too soon. My plan is to finish reading this today. We'll see how far I get though. I'm gonna get back to reading now. I feel like I've talked quite a bit now, and I'll update with my thoughts in a little bit. I feel like I'll have tons of thoughts. I might just save it for the end, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll update when I do have some more things I want to talk about. About 12 pages left. I'm just gonna finish it right now and then we'll talk about it. I know what's gonna happen in the end, like, you know from the beginning of the story where it's gonna end and what's gonna happen, but I'm living in my little delusional optimistic world right now. Moving stories I've ever read in my entire life. It's changed my entire perspective on my life. It made me just reflect on a lot of things that I'm doing and trying to have a more positive outlook and experience even when things don't seem great or good. And I just feel like this is a book that everyone should read. I already, when I was in the middle of reading this book, ordered it for my mom and my aunt, and I'm hoping that my sisters will read it as well. This is a book that I think could change your life. If you're looking for something that you don't know what to get into, maybe you're in a slump, or you're just somewhere in life where you're stuck and you feel like you need something to kind of help you out of the rut that you're in, I would highly recommend this book. I don't think there's anything about this that I didn't enjoy. This is now officially my most annotated book I own. This has changed my life. This has changed the way that I do things, the way that I see things and react to things and situations. And it's just made me want to be a better person in general, and just like be more involved in my community, be a better mom and wife and sister and daughter, and just work on myself and continue to work on myself. And I feel like this book found me at the right time. I don't even think this is a book that you need to read at the right time. I think that it's good at any time, and it's definitely something that I'm going to be rereading. Like, I have never reread a book that I can remember. This is already one where I'm like, I want to jump back in there. I want to go through all my quotes that I annotated, and I want to just be back in it and stuff. There's so much that I learned from this book, and it's crazy. It's 192 pages long, and I feel like this is definitely going to be my favorite read of the year. I don't see how anything's going to top this, but I took so much out of it, and I think that's so important in reading, is taking something out of everything that you're reading. And I took so much from this book, and this is a book that I will recommend for the rest of my life. If I could give it 10 stars, I'd give it 10 stars. This was absolutely incredible. The way that it was written, the lessons that I learned, seeing two opposite perspectives and two different lifestyles come together, converse, and discuss things that one person values that has slipped in the other person's mind. I don't even know if that made sense. Just seeing these two different lives and seeing them reflect on their lives, and having someone with so much experience share that with someone who is still, you know, new in their adult world and in their adult life, and having that person reflect. Like, I feel so much of what Mitch felt in this book. Experience shapes your perspective on life, and I feel like with Morrie's perspective and being older, he had so much to share and so much wisdom, and I feel like getting to hear him say those things has just changed my view on life. And I feel like when I was younger, and I feel like all kids are typically like this, but with your parents, and more specifically with my mom, when she would tell me things because she had the life experience to know how things would play out, I wouldn't listen. I would think that I knew better. And now in my adult years, being a mom now, I tell her all the time, I'm like, I should have listened to you more. You know everything. I know nothing. And I just feel like now I'm in a mindset where I do like listening to experience and hearing people's lives and think that they've learned and how they've dealt with situations or reflected on things. And I like taking that information in and reflecting on my own life. And I just feel like I took so much out of this book. And if I had read this maybe in high school, I probably wouldn't have taken as much out of it at the time. But I just feel like this is such an incredible book, and I highly recommend it. I probably will be talking about this book for the rest of my life. I highly recommend it. I think everyone should read it. I think it definitely changed my life. When me and my husband went out on our wedding anniversary and we went to the bookstore, and his plan for us was I get him a book, he gets me a book, and we swap after. And he's been paying attention to how much I've really liked and enjoyed this book, and so he ended up getting me another book by this author, so I'm excited to read that one. Yeah, I'll definitely be reading more books by this author. I want to see what his other works are like, because I know that this is a biography, but his other works are fiction. I'm excited to see what his storytelling is like, but this was an incredible read. Probably gonna be my favorite read of the year. I really don't see how anything else is gonna top this. Highly recommend. I'm going to get everyone I know to read this book. I've already got my mom and my aunt reading it, and they told their book club about how much I liked it, so they're gonna start reading it too, which is great. It's amazing. My goal for this year is now to get everyone to read this book. So yeah, I genuinely loved it. I loved everything about it. I have nothing bad to say about it. I learned so much from this book, and I think that's all you can ask for when you're reading, is being able to take so much out of a book and reflect on your own life and have that change your perception of things. So if you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.